Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Gulam Abi Fatir, 202532104. I'm from class C, and in this video, I will explain the process of completing the second sheet in the Excel file, which is the Genap sheet. I am work on the event sheet because my student ID is Ivan. In this sheet, we are asked to create frequency distribution table and several supporting tables for group data calculation based on the available numerical data. And the first step I do is observe all the available data first. From this data, we will later determine the maximum value, minimum value, total data, range, number of class, and class width. And first, I find maximum data with max, and I book all data in this table. And the mean formula is used to find the smallest value from data. I use mean, and all data in this table. The next step is calculating the total amount of data using the formula count and drop all data. The count function is used to count how many numeric data entries are available. And after obtaining the total data, I calculate the range by subtracting the minimum value from the maximum value. The formula, and this range will later be used to determine the class intervals. And next, I determine the number of class is use 1 plus 0.3 and log and 6, and 6 is this formula is used to determine the ideal number of class intervals based on in the total amount of data. Because the result is usually decimal, I use round, and the purpose is make to the number of class whole number. And class width, after determining the number of class, the next step is finding the class width. The formula is N7 NUO8, and 7 is range, and O8 is 9. Round the, and the result is round up the, and I use round up. And next table, I create the frequency distribution table, and in this class interval column, the first class starts from the minimum value 8, and then the upper limit is calculated by adding the class width and subtracting 1. And for the next class, the lower limit is obtained for the previous upper limit plus 1. Plus 1. And in this process, continue until all class interval are complete. And calculating the frequency. After completing the class interval, I calculate how many data values belong to each interval using the frequency function. This function is used to determine the number of data values within each class interval. The result are displayed in the frequency column, and relative frequency and cumulative frequency. After obtaining the frequency values, I calculate the relative frequency. The method is dividing the frequency by total data and then multiplying by 100 Uh, the purpose is to determine the percentage of data in each class interval. Then I calculate the less than cumulative frequency by uh, adding the frequencies gradually from top to bottom. Meanwhile, the greater than cumulative frequency is calculated by subtracting the previous frequency from the total data gradually. Next, I create the supporting table for the group data calculation. In this section, I determine the true lower boundary and true upper boundary. The true lower boundary is obtained by subtracting 0.5 from the lower class. Meanwhile, the true upper boundary is obtained by adding 0.5 to the upper class limit. And then I calculate the midpoint. The midpoint is calculated by adding uh, lower the lower and upper boundaries and dividing by 2. After obtaining the midpoint, I calculate mi multiplied by v frequency. This is done by multiplying the midpoint by the frequency. This result will later be used to calculate the group data mean and sections U and V. Uh, I determine the U values for each class. Usually the U values is range from -3 to -3 to +5, and then I calculate U multiplied by V by multiplying the U values with the frequency. This calculation helps simply the process of calculating the mean using the coding method. And the mean. Uh, After the supporting table is complete, the next step is calculating the group data mean. The mean is calculated by the formula, the total of me multiplied by V divided by the total frequency, and the me V values that were previously calculated are summed first. Then the result is divided by the total frequency or total amount of data. The final result apart, the average value of the group data. Next to median. The median is middle value of the data, and the first step is dividing the total data by 2. Then I estimate the cumulative frequency to determine the median class. After finding the median class, I use the group data median formula. This formula includes the lower boundary of median class, half of the total data, the cumulative frequency before the median class, the frequency of the median class, and the class interval width. From this calculation, the median value is obtained. And next, I calculate the group data mode. The mode is value that occurs most frequently, and the first step is determine the class with the highest. Of course, the first step is determine the class with the highest frequency. This class called by model class, and after that I use the group data mode formula. This formula use the lower boundary of the model class, the difference between the model frequency, and previous frequency, the difference between the model frequency and the class interval width. And after substituting all values into the formula, the mode value is obtained. And uh, I calculate the group data quartiles. Quartiles are used to divide data into 4 equal parts. There are the first quartile, second quartile, and third quartile. The first step is determine the quartile position using the total data multiplied by 1/4, 2/4, or 3/4. Then I determine the quartile class using the cumulative frequency. After the class is found, the quartile value is calculated using the group data quartile formula. And next, I calculate the decile. In my case, because the last number of my student ID is 04, and the deciles used in this my calculation. Deciles are used to divide the data into the 10 equal parts. And the calculation process is almost same as quartiles. And the first, I determine the decile position use the formula the data multiplied by the decile divided by 10. And after the position is found, I determine the decile class is using cumulative frequency. And this decile value is calculated using the group data decile formula. And next, I calculate the percentile. In my case, because my last number student ID is 04, I just use 4. Percentiles are used to divide the data into the 100 equal parts. The first step is determine the percentile position using the total data multiplied by the decile percentile divided by 100. And then I determine the percentile class based on the cumulative frequency. After that, the percentile value is calculated using the group data percentile formula. And next, I calculate the mean deviation and variance. In this section, I find the difference between the midpoint and the mean. Then the absolute value of the difference is multiplied by frequency. The results are summed to obtain the mean deviation. Meanwhile, the variance is calculated using the squared difference between the midpoint and the mean multiplied by the frequency. And after summing all the values, the result is divided by the total data. And after obtaining the variance, and next step is calculating the standard deviation. The standard deviation is calculated by finding the square root of the variance. This value is used to determine how far the data separates from the average value. So overall of the process of completing the GNAP sheet starts by finding the basic values such as maximum value, minimum value, total data, range, number of class, and class width. And after that, the frequency distribution table is created. The frequencies are calculated, and finally the supporting table for group data calculation are complete. And that's is all my explanations about how to complete the second sheet in this Excel sheet. Thank you.